So in this tutorial, I'll show you how to use SFTP, which is a part of SSH. Now, if you have SSH installed on Windows or Linux, then you can follow this tutorial without any problems. However, if you don't have SSH installed, then make sure to go back to my previous tutorial and there will be a video there how to install SSH. Now, if you are not familiar with command line, I'll show you another way which uses a program to connect to your SFTP server, and this might be a better way for unexperienced users. How do you check if you have SSH installed? If you run SSH in the command line, then you have it installed. As you can see, it has displayed options for me, which I have installed. You need to run this command in the terminal. Now, to actually log in, you need three things: username, host or IP address, and password. Once you have all of these three things, which should be displayed on your hosting website, or if you are self-hosting, then this will be your user that you log into the system as, and then you can proceed with logging in. So I'll show you how to do this. If you type in SFTP, and now what you need to do is specify your username. For me, it's Griffin. For you, it could be anything. So I'm going to specify Griffin. Now, if you put @ IP address, so for you, it'll be an IP address. And then if you press enter, it will say password, right? If it says password, you are basically halfway there. You just need to put your password in. The good thing about SSH is you can actually copy and paste, right? For me, it's a very, very simple password, so I'm going to type it. Now, I'm going to type it, and as you can see, nothing appears. That is a standard security feature of Linux, right, and Windows. Don't worry, just keep typing or copy and paste. Make sure, obviously, it's correct. If it's not correct, it's going to tell you. If it asks for a fingerprint or something like that, just type in yes. Don't worry, just type in yes, and you should be okay. Now, I just thought about something. Sometimes for like Minecraft servers and other games, you might get different ports. On the web host, it should tell you like what port you need to connect it to. By default, it's 22 for SSH, but most of the game servers I ever had usually had different ports. What you need to do is you need to specify that port, and I'll show you how to do this now. So if I try to connect through the standard port, right, without specifying anything, it's going to say connection refused, right? It says connection closed, connection refused. Now, if you get connection refused, it means two things. Either basically the firewall is restricting your access, which is one of the basically possibilities. The second one is the port that you're trying to connect it to is not correct. You need to specify the correct port. How do you specify the correct port? You need to verify the port on your web hosting or whatever you're running the SSH on, right? Or whatever you're trying to connect to. You need to verify that it is the correct port. And then what you need to do is specify the P flag, right? P stands for port. So for me, it's 3555 at basically Griffin and the same credentials, right? And as you can see, I'm connected, right? So just to be aware of if you have any problems, right? So once you actually connect, you need a couple commands that basically will help you with SFTP. The first one being ls, right? And as you can see, it shows you the current basically files in your current working directory. If you type in pwd, it will show you the current working directory. So I'm in home Griffin, which is basically my user, right? Another command that you need is get. Now I'm gonna have to talk a little bit here because you need to understand what I'm saying. If I type in get, right? So if I type in ls and if I say get, what does get mean? Get means basically download a file, right? So if I say get.get.txt, right? What this will do is we'll download the file to home Kali desktop, right? So if I go to desktop, that's where the file will be. If I will be in my home directory, which is Kali, then that is where the file would be downloaded to. So wherever you open your terminal, wherever you currently are, that is where the file gets downloaded, and same with uploading files. Now, if you want to upload or download from another directory, unless you know how to use the command line, I just recommend going to that directory and then uploading files, like so desktop or anywhere you want. Unless you know command line, for example, if I type in ls, right, for example here, as you can see, these are the files in the previous directory. So for example, if I type in get docker.txt, right, as you can see, I downloaded a file from another directory, which is now you can ask quickly, what does this mean, the two dots and like / this means going back a directory, right? Okay, so now how do you actually upload files? Now there's an additional command I recommend learning: exclamation mark. Exclamation marks allows you to basically run a command on your local system. So now I'm running the actual command, like with exclamation mark, I'm running the command on my system, on my actual system that I'm connecting to SFTP to, right? So if I basically run ls again, as you can see, this is the file. Now if I basically type in put, right, which just uploads files, and I specify the file is going to get uploaded to where the directory basically in the SFTP server. So in this case, it's into tutorial, right? And obviously, if I change the directory, for example, if I go to another directory, if I go back actually, and I download the file again, the file is going to get downloaded to basically desktop, right? So as you can see, it's in desktop, and this is the file that got uploaded, right? And now for the unexperienced users, what you need to do is you need to come to FileZilla. Just Google FileZilla or come to this description below, and there will be a link. Make sure you're downloading FileZilla client, not server. So take the client, install it, and you should be ready to go. And I'm going to show you how to use SFTP right now. Right, so basically it is very, very simple. You need to come to File, Site Manager, and you just need to basically make a new site, right? So new site, and from here you need to choose protocol. So choose protocol SFTP. FTP will not work because FTP is a different protocol. And SFTP, now we need to put host. So for me is you're just the same thing, right, as the command line. So my IP address or your host. Port, for me it's 35555. For you it might be completely different, right? You need to verify the port. User, so for me it's Griffin, and the password, well, we need to put your password in, right? And then basically you can save this if you want. It matters really how many times you're going to use it. I'm not going to use it more than twice, so I'm just going to press OK. And it should take, if it doesn't connect, all you have to do is just come to the site manager and just click it again, right? And make sure that you trust this host. Now, one important thing here is that basically on the left, this is your computer, right? So this is my host I'm connecting to SFTP from, and the right side is the remote server, right? So you don't confuse these two things. Now, the cool thing about FileZilla is that you can actually change files or modify files as you go, right? Now, the one thing is I recommend turning off any basically VPNs when you modify files with SFTP just to avoid any problems, because I've had problems sometimes when I was connected to a VPN and I've modified the file will completely go wiped. So I would recommend turning any proxies and VPNs just for the basically time being that you modify any files, just turn everything off, right? Any proxies, any VPNs, anything like that. Now, how to use this? Basically, what you can do is you can just drag files, right, to basically wherever you want, right? As you can see. And then you can obviously drag files back, right? Right, and that'll be it for this tutorial. I'm trying to drop as many tutorials as I can, but obviously it takes time to produce everything. So apologies if it takes a bit longer. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope I helped you out somehow. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment, and peace. Thank you for watching.